labels. Convoy is the graphic artist and the designers, and they helped me. I created the imagery, and they were the ones that were able to incorporate it into the labels. And we all decided on this, like, on a circular motif. And so after we decided, they helped me guided me towards that. Then I was able to focus on generating the images that fit that. I knew that Ian and I both were from scientific backgrounds, so we really wanted to focus on something that was scientifically focused. And so I remember from high school years looking at cross sections of cells in cross sections of stems and root sections. And so I started to paint those, and it was going beautifully until I realized that I had painted a die cut with the vascular bundles, and sugarcane is a monocot, and so we just made the change, and we wanted to be scientifically and technically accurate.
Seems like you're gonna need a definition book on the.
No, I think it speaks to the. I think it really speaks to the nature of
Well, people should know that there's two basic groups of plants, and when the seed emerges, it's either a monocot, has one cotyledon, one leaf, or it's dicot and has two leaves. So most things are dicots, and then other things are monocots, like irises, grasses, things that have parallel leaf venation. And then everything else, like trees and woody things, end up being more likely dicots.
So each label on each product of the spirit?
It's just a botanical part of it. So we have, again, focusing on the, or we could look at the drawings too, but I could point out like how we evolved. So like with the juniper, we were really focusing on the berry, and he gave me actual little specimens of berries, and I had to look under the dissecting scope because they were pretty small, but I wanted to get all of the pattern in here, and then I would add a complementing like branch to it too. And so I did it several times to get the right one. And then let's see, there would be well, you can see how it sort of all evolves, but
put them both of them when you show them, put them on the light bar.
Then, so here were the cross sections of the cells. This is this cross section of the cells in the stem, and then here's the root of sugarcane. So you can see the little root hairs coming out. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool if you actually want to teach people, cells change, whether they're up in the plant versus down in the root. And then let's see, some sketches didn't make it to fruition. You can see how there was I would just provide all these, and then Convoy was very helpful in saying, okay, this one or this one. Like for instance, this one, we wanted it maybe off to the side. So it was a matter of figuring out where the coffee flower was going to go. And then same with leaves, and we were going off in different directions sometimes. But you have to have all those different sort of combinations, and it's like brainstorming. And so it was really fun. When Ian came to me, I knew that I thought, oh gosh, okay.
That's okay.
When Ian came to me to create images for his labels, I really wanted to push the envelope and not just do a traditional botanical. But I knew because of his background as a scientist, I knew that he looks at plants and the world differently, just like I do. We look like farther than what's on the surface. So I thought we could make it look a little more contemporary and really delve into basically the cellular level of the plant, or the parts of the plant that maybe you don't see all the time. And so that's why we came up with focusing on cross-section of the stem and the root for the sugarcane. And also why we use, let's see, this very close-up of the juniper berry. So it makes people like stop and look a little bit closer, which I think scientists have that drive to question, look closer, and be curious. Right? I was thinking of that, and I was like, oh, this is gin right here. And so I was just having fun with all the seeds. And then I was thinking, gosh, this is a neat way to express botanicals. Not as the plant in its full form, but what if we expressed it in like its seed form? They're so cool. Like all the different, I mean, it just blows your mind. So, like the part that we don't really see all that often. And so all this, we started with this and then, or I started with it. I needed to like visualize it first and then went to this. So.
That's good.
Yeah. That was, I still like that. I still love this idea of like portraying plants in this abstract or seemingly abstract way. But it's not abstract. It's very realistic. But it seems it's very. Well, it would inspire someone to be like, "Wow, what are these? What does this represent?" But if you grew all these plants out, you can make gin, right? If you grew all these shapes. So. Look at all these little hairs. Can you even see those with the camera? Oh, now the air conditioning's turning on. I can't remember. No. I know.
Oh, we got it. Said put it along on this right side. Stroke on the right side.
I'll go back to this. Like here's fennel, here's anise, and juniper.
God. The framing with the window is sick.
So it's just sort of like, I'm not going to do it on there, but just to show Valerie, it's sort of, although sometimes I do have a little tester here, which might actually help people to see that it's really very fine line. Just like, wow. This one is actually, this brush isn't sort of. Yeah, it takes a while to sort of, but you can get the different like values, the different line thickness.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy the camera doesn't make any like.
Huh?